See about the anatomy of esophagus. Esophagus is a narrow muscular tube which extends from the pharynx to the stomach. The length of the esophagus is 25 cm and its width is about 2 cm. Coming to the course of esophagus, the esophagus begins in the neck at the lower border of the cricoid cartilage, which is at the level of lower border of C6 vertebrae, and from there it descends down, pierces the diaphragm at the level of T10 vertebrae, and finally it terminates in the abdomen at the cardiac orifice of the stomach at the level of T11 vertebrae. This is the course. So here is a picture of esophagus. The esophagus is divided into three parts: the cervical part, the thoracic part and the abdominal part. The cervical part is the upper 4 cm, thoracic part 20 cm and abdominal part 1 to 2 cm. And as we have already seen, it extends from the lower border of C6 to T11. Next, the curvatures of esophagus. The esophagus has two side-to-side curvatures, both towards the left, and two anteroposterior curvatures. The two side-to-side curvatures are: first one is present at the root of the neck before entering the thoracic inlet, second at the level of T7 vertebra before passing in front of the descending thoracic aorta. The two anteroposterior curvatures, first corresponds to the curvature of the cervical spine and the second corresponds to the curvature of the thoracic spine. Next are the constrictions in the esophagus. Four sites of anatomical constrictions or narrowing are present in the esophagus. The distance of each is measured from the upper incisor teeth. So the four constrictions are: the first constriction is called the cervical constriction, which is present at the pharyngoesophageal junction 6 inches from the incisor teeth. Second constriction is the aortic constriction. This is present at the place where it is crossed by the arch of aorta 9 inches from the incisor teeth. The third constriction is called the bronchial constriction, and this is seen where it is crossed by the left principal bronchus, and this is situated 11 inches from the incisor teeth. The fourth constriction is the diaphragmatic constriction. This is seen when the esophagus pierces the diaphragm 15 inches from the incisor teeth. So the distance of each constriction from the upper incisor teeth are 6 inches, 9 inches, 11 inches and 15 inches respectively. These are the four constrictions. First cervical, second aortic, third bronchial, and this is the fourth. Coming to the relations of esophagus. So the first picture shows the anterior and lateral relations of the esophagus. Anteriorly it is related to the trachea, the left recurrent laryngeal nerve, the right pulmonary artery, and laterally it is related to the left subclavian artery, the thoracic duct, left vagus nerve, right recurrent laryngeal nerve, right vagus nerve, and also the azygos vein. The next picture shows the posterior relations of the esophagus, which include the right vagus nerve, thoracic duct, azygos vein, right lung and the pleura, right posterior intercostal artery, left vagus nerve forms the anterior relation, the descending thoracic aorta and hemiazygos vein. Only the left vagus nerve is the anterior relation. All other structures from the posterior relation of esophagus. Next, the arterial supply. So the arterial supply is different for all the three parts of the esophagus. To the cervical part, it is supplied by the inferior thyroid artery. Thoracic part is supplied by the esophageal branches of the thoracic aorta and the bronchial arteries. Abdominal part of esophagus is supplied by the esophageal branches of left inferior phrenic artery. This is a picture showing the arterial supply. Next, the venous drainage. The venous drainage of the cervical part is by the inferior thyroid vein. To the thoracic part is by the azygos and hemiazygos veins, and to the abdominal part of esophagus is by two venous channels, which are hemiazygos vein, which is a tributary of inferior vena cava, and left gastric vein, which is a tributary of portal vein. So this abdominal part of esophagus is the site of portocaval anastomosis. The portal part is the left gastric vein coming from the portal vein, and the caval part is the hemiazygos vein from the IVC, inferior vena cava. So in case of portal hypertension, the esophageal varices are seen in the abdominal part of esophagus. Coming to the lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic drainage from the cervical part is by the deep cervical lymph nodes, thoracic part into the posterior mediastinal lymph nodes, and the abdominal part into the left gastric lymph nodes. Nerve supply. It is supplied by both parasympathetic and sympathetic fibers. The parasympathetic fibers are by the recurrent laryngeal nerves and the esophageal plexus formed by the vagus nerves. So these provide the sensory, motor and secretomotor supply to the esophagus. The sympathetic fibers are derived from T5 to T9 spinal segments. They are sensory and vasomotor in nature. Next, the histology of esophagus. The esophagus is made up of 4 layers from within outwards. These are mucosa, submucosa, muscular layer and the fibrous membrane, which is the adventitia. As you can see in this picture, the M is the mucosa, S is the submucosal layer, and the muscular layer is made up of inner circular muscles and outer longitudinal muscles, and the A, outermost layer, is the adventitia layer. The mucosa consists of further 3 layers. The epithelium made up of non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, lamina propria, which consists of cardiac esophageal glands, that too only in the lower part of esophagus, muscularis mucosa, which is very thick and it is made up of only longitudinal smooth muscles. The next layer is submucosa. Submucosa contains the mucous esophageal glands. Next layer, muscular layer. In the upper 1/3 of the esophagus, it is made up of only skeletal muscles. Middle 1/3 is made up of both skeletal and smooth muscles, whereas the lower 1/3 of esophagus is made exclusively of smooth muscle. And the outermost layer is the adventitia, which is a fibrous membrane. It is made up of dense connective tissue with many elastic fibers. Lastly, the development of esophagus. Esophagus develops from the foregut, and there are 2 important events in the development of esophagus. One is the separation of laryngotracheal tube, which forms the respiratory tract, from the esophagus by formation of laryngotracheal septum. So the laryngotracheal septum develops, which separates the respiratory tract from the esophagus. In case if there is maldevelopment of the laryngotracheal septum, this leads to tracheoesophageal fistula. There is abnormal connection between the trachea and the esophagus. The second important event is the recanalization of the obliterated lumen. So if this fails, it leads to esophageal atresia. This is all about the anatomy of esophagus. Thank you.